record. Cool. All right. So how you been, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. I've been just getting experience with the whole, trying to do the owner instead of just always being the operator and trying to, build that up. Because I know last time we talked, I was telling you, more of my role or what I'm trying to do is move more into kind of what you're doing, where I have staff and we're creating new classes, opening up more things, and I'm kind of just managing all of that. But I'm still running some classes myself as well.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I mean that's a logical next step. I mean, I was kind of forced into it, whereas like you can take a purposeful step. I mean, it only makes sense. You have a child, you have everything that you want to kind of cultivate on your personal end. So it's great. So is there an issue? Like what's the next step? What's the plan for 25? What kind of roadblocks are you running into?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the main thing is the situation with my trainer that I was trying to tell you about,
Okay.
uh, which kind of came out of left field, and I'm like, hold on a second, because when I first got her on, like I brought her on, I hired her from within, like we talked about. She was a client that already was doing really well. She knew the program already, so it wasn't like I had to find a new person and kind of show them what we do.
Yeah.
We already had rapport for like 7 years. So the next step was like, okay, we'll open up the 9 a.m. class and you can run that class. And then so I invested so much time, promoting her, training her on how to be a good coach, how to improve her performance, how to market herself. Like, just all the stuff that I learned from you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside of just, what's the bicep, because she knows how to work out, but connecting with clients and being able to run a class and organization. And that's the stuff that I really spent time doing the first year. And then fast forward, um, literally a year later, we opened up the 4:30 class 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And, because the whole time, everything was good. And then she started bringing up more like she wants to start doing drop-in classes and do personal training and things like that. So her situation is that she works at a pharmacy. Like that's kind of like her main job, and this is what she does to supplement her income.
Okay.
But she wants to do fitness full time. So she's like trying to do that, go all in on it. So she's always asking, is there more things I can do? Is there more stuff I can do? But which was kind of tough for me because I just kind of wanted someone that was gonna do what I already know works and just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like just run the program. Because but she,
Yeah.
she's in that stage where she's been training for a year. She has a year experience as a personal trainer. I remember my first year, I had a ton of great ideas and things I wanted to do. And she's kind of in that like she wants to explore and do a bunch of stuff, which I was cool with. But there's certain things on her duties that I'm already paying her for that weren't up to par. So I was like, look, once we make sure that these things are taken care of, then let's start worrying about the drop-in classes to make some extra money for yourself or start doing personal training. Because if you're already struggling to accomplish what you're already on payroll to do, if you add more stuff to that, it's going to be even less that you're going to be accomplishing what little you have to do now, you know?
Can I interrupt you and ask
Totally.
what was she struggling with? What did she need to improve upon?
Sure. So she she runs the 9 a.m. 4:30 class. She's also tasked with just relaying information to me because I'm not the person that's training the clients face to face. So it's her duty to, check the body fat for that class, send the stats over to me so I can reach out to the clients um
How do you
to
check body fat?
the handheld
Okay.
the arm run thing. But
Yeah.
basically, like take their weight, get their body fat, do the measurement, send that over to me so then I can reach out to the clients and go in more depth with them about where to go with their journey. So she doesn't deal with any of the nutrition stuff. That's me, right? So I would just have her direct them to me, send me the stats, but then she would just forget to send it. I'd be like, all right, on Fridays are weigh-in and check-in days. Make
Every
sure you have
Friday?
it. Sometimes she would send it on Friday,
Wait a
but
minute. Do you do it every Friday?
For the people that want it, yes.
So do they pay more for that?
No. Well, because remember, I already charged them $200 a month. But you'll be proud of this though. I am increasing my rates start of next year to kind of make it more where the month to month is going to be more expensive, but if they do longer term, like 6 months long or 12 months, it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, okay. Can I just give you my opinion? This is what my opinion is.
Please, yes.
That's a difficult system. Because it's on Fridays. It's whomever wants it. So maybe they want it, maybe they don't. Is there any like how consistent are they with that? Here's okay. Th- This is what I will tell you about what I've experienced as it relates to my staff.
Okay.
Um, I do, I'm responsible for all the nutrition,
Right.
every class, whether or not I'm teaching it. You know what I mean? Only because, and I try to say this in the most delicate way, they aren't real trainers. I don't call them trainers. I call them coaches. You're a coach. All right.
Right.
You essentially like, if I wanted to be mean, I would say you're an actor. I give you a script, you recite it. Um, s- at- so you already know, right?
I
That's where
feel
she is.
that. I feel that.
Yeah. And 1 year is nothing in in
Yeah.
in experience, especially like if all you were doing was reciting the script. It's nothing. Like you don't know nothing. You literally, me, 1 year in, even
I didn't know shit at 1 year.
it's nothing. It's not
Yeah.
now that the problem is they get gassed up because they didn't earn the clients. They don't have to necessarily sell, so they don't understand how hard it is to sell. And
Yeah.
all the clients tell them that they're so great. So
Exactly. Everyone's
they're
like, oh, Coach Nicole, you're so amazing. And that's a big complaint of hers is she's like, I have so much knowledge and I just really want to help people with the nutrition. And I haven't had the opportunity to do so.
wait a minute,
And
she wants to do nutrition.
yeah, but I'm like, you're not ready yet. I was willing to help teach you, but she wasn't also willing to take the time to sit down and learn with me about how to do it properly our way, doing the MyFitnessPal, checking the log. She's just like, well, I know what worked for me. I've helped my husband lose weight. And she's like, all these people are asking me about one-on-one personal training. And I'm like, people asking about it versus hiring you is way different when you start talking about prices and stuff. But she's so like, she wants to do so much and she's just not ready yet, but she doesn't know it. And I, as her mentor, um, since this is my first employee and first trainer that I've been trying to build, I really have tried to go the extra mile. Like I spent so much time making training videos and stuff for her to watch and scheduled quizzes and tests to help her to learn as she's getting the experience of training people in person and getting rid of that, awkwardness of being a trainer in the beginning. But then, dude, in the beginning, like every time it'd be time to do a quiz or a test. Oh, I haven't had time to study it yet. Oh, can we do it next week? Oh, I got stuff going on. I got plans with my husband. So it's like she didn't really give the effort to wanting to follow the process that I want because I told her, I'm like, you're representing the brand that I built. So for you to be doing the nutrition and helping people, I would be open to it, but I need to know that you're like at a certain standard. You can't just be winging it and testing stuff on my clients.
I would listen, this is going to be an ongoing thing, just so you know. Um, the main thing is laying down the law. I guess it's see, I have one coach who coaches CrossFit, and I don't believe in 90% of what the CrossFit culture really promotes. And
Yeah.
so, but she goes to that gym so often, she'll often take that information and relay it in my gym. And when I do her year-end review, that's going to be that's going to be part of what I tell her. Like, you can't just say this is what worked for. There's a difference between what worked for you and like what nutrition is. Like, I feel you so much. Um, I'm trying to figure out the best way to help you navigate it. The point is the same way that there is a script for the workouts. Okay, well, this is going to be the overarching response first and foremost. even though I'm sure life is busy, wife and kids, house, the whole nine, you have the power to take her hours away
Mhm.
if she doesn't do her job.
Yeah.
Like this is how we run it. And honestly, why doesn't that other girl train? That really ripped girl, the Asian one.
Suzette, yeah,
Yeah.
she works at the supermarket in town, so the hours don't quite fit with the class that I needed her to that I needed help with because like 5:30 in the morning, 6:30 p.m. I can do those. It's the 9 a.m. and the 4:30 that are tough because I'm, taking my daughter to school and then doing the back end stuff with clients, and then I got to watch my daughter while my girl's at work. So those were the times that made sense to have trainers there because it's a lot harder for me now to do the 9 a.m. and the 4:30. So that's where it was kind of like, damn, like why did I even open up the 4:30 class if, 2 months later she said it's going too slow. I've been wanting to run my classes. And I'm like, hang on, Nicole, like, do you realize all the clients that we got for 4:30, we got 12 people. There is one person left. All the people left for the holidays for whatever reason. There is one person that can only do that class. Other than that, it's the people that go to my other classes that could go to the other classes that just go to that one. So I'm not making more money to where I can just keep or almost even keep the class open, because I'm having to pay her more than the cost of one extra person. So I was telling her that I'm like, part of your role is marketing as well. It's my job to market the program, market all the classes. But I felt, tell me if I'm crazy, that her role should also be to share sometimes about the classes she runs.
What do you mean? Share how?
Like on social media, marketing, posting a client win, posting a video of people working out in the class. Like that's something I wanted her to do.
Yeah, that's not too much to ask. You're not asking her to like run ads and like nurture leads.
No, not at all. I gave her, and I made it very specific. I was like, look, in our community, we have these groups for the town on Wednesdays and Saturdays, our small business Saturdays. So we're allowed to post on those days. So I said, make sure you get something, whether it's, a client win. Look at what Susie did. She could do a push-up now, or a video of your class, or it could be anything. But I reminded her, like, you need to be in people's faces all the time. They might not be ready to hire us now, but eventually, when they're ready to hire somebody, they're going to remember they saw Coach Nicole. But if I'm only posting about my two classes, it doesn't even look like there is two other classes because no one knows what's going on at 9 a.m. and 4:30. So I even for a second was like, okay, do me a favor instead. Just get a bunch of videos and pictures and send them to me, and then I'll edit all of them and I'll post them to market your classes.
It's
She
not even about that. Okay, first of all, you can't
refused to
call it
even do
that.
that.
No, you're calling it the wrong thing. There are not her classes. They're your classes. She's just teaching them.
Yeah,
Second, you say your classes,
yeah,
you're giving her way too much power. All right.
yeah,
Beyond that, you are not her mentor, you're her boss.
yeah,
Like like, yeah, there's no matter what, there's a mentor-mentee relationship no matter what, but
sure.
mentor, no, the difference is mentees pay their mentors
Right,
or they work for free.
sure.
She's your employee. Yeah, I mean, so you got to throw the mentee mentor thing out the window. You're mentoring her, you're teaching her, yes, but you also have to pay her. So you're her boss, you
Right.
know.
I'm paying. Yeah. I was like, Nicole, I'm paying you to get the opportunity to train and get experience while also learning from someone who's successful at what you want to do to help you learn the stuff that you're not going to learn in a book. Because she's so set on wanting to get her personal training certification. And I'm like, for
Yep.
what? I'm like, what do you want that for? She's like, well, I just want to feel more, because she's thinking of like, if I need to do something outside of DFF boot camp, I'll probably need that. But she's really set on like, I want to do these extra classes. I want to do personal training and that I want to do the two classes I do now. But I also want to go work at this other gym and do classes there and do personal training and run the front desk. I'm like, that's not going to work. That's competition. And she does not see it as competition at all.
Of course she doesn't. Listen, everybody's out for self. Everybody's out for self. Everybody's only this is what you gotta you
Am I crazy for that? Like, am I
No,
crazy thinking that?
you're not crazy. You're just
Okay.
too removed from what it was like to be an employee. An
Yeah.
employee's mindset will never be the same as yours. They will never, an employee's only goal is to make as much money as they can for themselves, to
Yeah.
pay their own bills. That's all they care about. Now,
Sure.
if they pay their bills exclusively by working with you, mazel tov. But if they don't, they will find another way because their bills aren't going anywhere. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Now, if she's had this change in um, motivation and she wants to now pursue a career in fitness, and you can't provide her enough hours and enough opportunity to make the money that she would need to make in order to sustain herself, she's well within her right. But you're well within your right to fire her. You got to
Yeah.
always remember that. That unfortunately, that's something you got to remember is always on the table, regardless of relationship time. Okay. Um, Now, as it relates to the personal training certification, I laugh because I remember all the videos that I put on why you shouldn't get the NASM certification, and
Like what?
it
Yeah.
it really revolved around the fact that that was like it was assuming that you were still purchasing the book and learning from it
Yeah.
because I read the ACE manual front to back for years before I ever got the notification. I was qualified. I just didn't get the piece of paper. And that's
Sure.
where a lot of people lost the message. They're like, "Oh, no, no, you're saying don't be knowledgeable." I'm like, "No, no, no." Um,
The
I'm
paper
saying
didn't.
that
Yeah.
yeah, like the piece of paper wasn't the end of the world. And at the same time, if you were trying to do it solo, there are so many things that you're not going to learn.
The marketing side.
Yeah, the marketing side, just the one-on-one side, there's so many things. Now,
Yeah.
as it relates to her, if I were you, as long as it didn't interfere with her progress, I would not discourage her from pursuing a personal training certification. You're worried about what she's going to do with it. You can't worry about that because people, as painful as it is to think about, like I remember, do you remember the first time you had a client cancel their membership? And like
Yeah.
I remember the first time it was so painful. I was like, what did I do
Oh,
wrong? I mean, it
what
hurt your
did I
soul.
do wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get this client back. How am I ever gonna do it? Now people come, people go. I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Even with trainers, like when I first started hiring trainers, I was like, I would go into the year. I never want to see any trainer go. I never want to see any trainer go. But you got to understand that it's probably going to happen because it's not their baby, it's your baby, you
Yeah.
know? So you always got to be looking for the next. If you really wanted to play the game with her, you could say, hey guys, everything's been going so well with Nicole. Is anybody else interested? That will get her shit in order.
Start getting it. Yeah. Well,
Nothing because I can always say because what I'll say to my trainers now is I will always put the best trainer out there. It's kind of like football. Like I'm gonna put the or basketball, I'm gonna put the best players on the court. You know what I
yeah.
mean? If she knows that she's your only option, that's not a you have no position of power
I
there.
have no leverage.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I would have been fired her, but I also know like, well, fuck, if she stops, I got to do those two classes myself, which is going to be tough with, the personal situation, or
Mhm.
hire new people, which I don't have prospects of right now, or even know where to grab them.
Are you telling me that there's no okay, so out of all of your members, there's nobody else that you would consider? Forget about their availability. There's nobody else that could work.
I think there definitely could be. I just haven't looked and I'm like, fuck, are they all going to do this? Where I like build them up and then they just want to go like become trainers somewhere else?
Maybe. And then they'll do it. And then they'll
Is that
fail.
just something you have to accept?
Yeah,
Because
but okay, well, here's the thing. I've only fired I've gone through trainers. I had one for 2 years. He regressed as an employee. I had to let him go. And he
yeah,
was my number one trainer. I don't even know if I did a video on that. That was late 2023. And then another guy that I had hired, he just was kind of ditzy, let him go. And then just recently there's a female trainer that I hired, and I was just like, "Yeah." She just had an attitude problem. It's hard to explain you would have known it if you saw it, but like I was like it wasn't as contentious. It was like I don't think I'm gonna put you on staff anymore. And she wasn't even like taking hours like that. So she went. And then there was another guy who I trained who like after I hired the guy that was with me for 2 years, a month later the guy calls me. He seems like a great prospect, great guy. I'm looking for a trainer. I want to see him do well. And when you told me put all this energy, I poured everything into this guy, everything. And then one day out of nowhere, he said, yesterday was my last day. Gone. Yesterday
Yeah,
was my last day.
that feeling, you're like, what the it,
It
it
did.
almost jades you a little bit where you're like, I don't want to do this again. Fuck that. But I
It's not,
watched the video where you said, how do I how I hire people, like how to hire the best people. And
yeah.
you said something in there where you were like, I'm just looking for somebody who's going to come and run the system because I have a system that works and I just need people to run that. Not like brand new people that have all these crazy ideas and stuff. It's like that this isn't the place to do that. That's what I want. And that's what I thought we were on the same page with because when we first started, she was like, um I'm going to do anything it takes to like grow and yada yada yada.
They always say that in the beginning.
Yeah, everyone, and the thing I asked her is like, look, if I was willing to let you do drop-in classes and do personal training and do these extra things to make side money, and the only thing I was asking for you was to please step up on the cleaning, sending me my stuff on time, the info, and stepping up your marketing. Because Nicole, you haven't brought in a single client in a
Well, you
year and
can't.
a half. And me and you sell the same product for the same price. And she has the mindset of like, well, everything's so expensive. And I'm like, this is why
I,
you don't understand marketing and
I have a
sales.
question. Why are you putting her on the same level? Me and you are selling the same. This is the thing that I think you're doing wrong. You're
Yeah.
you're
I think I
you're
was just trying to teach her. I was just trying to
yeah.
like build her up.
Yeah, but you're treating her like an owner. You're treating her like she's a part owner. Like I own BFF Boot Camp and I take care of the 5:30 and 6:45. And you take care of like the not when you say your class, like no, these are the class semantics are very, very important. These are the classes that you teach. It's never
I,
lost on any of the coaches that I am the boss. You know what
I
I mean?
got you.
That's why
I,
whenever I put a post, even though I don't like calling myself a boss,
the
because
big boss.
yeah, it's a big boss. You know what I mean? Like it has to be, they have to understand, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, even if
I got
Nicole felt that way in the beginning, it's very easy for number one, if the members gas her up, and number two, if you don't set like very, very strict parameters on her, it's very easier for her to fall into if there's ambiguity, of course she's gonna lean toward what she thinks is most convenient or what she wants or what makes her more comfortable. I guarantee you there are members that have asked her about drop-in classes. I have one question for you. What would be the benefit of drop-in classes? What she's taking people off the street and then she's allowing them to do a drop-in and then she gets paid per drop-in? Like how does that benefit her?
Yeah, it really just came down to she was like, "Hey, D, I need to find a way to make some more money. If we're not able to do more classes, is there any way I could possibly do like a drop-in class that's something that's unrelated to boot camp, so it's not taking
Oh,
away your
no way.
client?" No way, really.
No
Okay.
way.
I was
The
thinking like
thing,
if it was like a Zumba class, some shit, and
okay,
and
well, you do things that I wouldn't do. Like you do the open gym, but that cuts into the open gym.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I think I was just trying to my ignorance of never training somebody before or having a staff or employees or anything. I've used
Yeah.
to just be doing it all on my own. So I think I treated her too much like an equal, like you're saying, where it's kind of like she thinks like those are her classes, and if she quits, all of her people are just going to like follow her.
Yeah.
And she fucked
Some
herself
people
up
might follow.
some, but she fucked herself up because she's going to be going to Trilogy, which is a 55 and up community where they don't let anybody from the outside even in there. So if you can have all these people from 9 a.m. that aren't 55 years old, they can't even go in there and train with you. But you're going
Trilogy
to
is
go,
another gym.
what's that? Yeah, yeah. So it's a Trilogy gym. Because I asked her, I'm like, what's the difference between if you did personal training in classes here or there? Why are you still going there? She's like, well, I need to make an extra $1,000 on top of what I'm making from you already. And I'm like, there's nothing I could do to give her an extra $1,000. She doesn't sell or bring clients in. I even told her, like, if you brought people in, I'd give you like 50% commission on their first month. I made it an incentive in the beginning, and she just never brought anybody and I asked her why she doesn't market, and it's the same thing of like, I'm not a social media person. Neither was I. I was awkward as shit.
You don't
But
get a choice. See, she's trying to play the both. She's trying to play both. I want to make $1,000. Like it doesn't just.
you got to add value to the business.
I've never had that problem where somebody was so like I don't have a word for it. So out of touch with what it means to make money in the fitness industry. She's very out of touch with what it means to make money. Like You don't get to just be the hero that, you're not a superstar. She's not a superstar. So I'm just okay. If I was on the cusp, and not even on the cusp of firing somebody, but if I noticed that there were ongoing problems with somebody, I would start looking immediately. I said that all the time. Like the thing about the dude that two I fired two guys. They were both 23, um, around 23. And so and the girl that I fired, one of the guys used to work with the girl. So it was three of them. I was like, I just don't know about them. And
Yeah.
so as soon as I realized that they were not operating at a high efficiency level, I started putting ads out. So I took on a new trainer before I needed him. And
Got you.
when I fired Jordan,
You already had the replacement ready.
he was there already. People already liked him. He was still a little bit green, but now he's my best trainer. You know what I mean? He's got a daughter. He needs the job. Like he takes it seriously. And I treat him very well,
Yeah.
but like when the funny thing that actually made me say, okay, this isn't going to work with Jordan. So I got into an issue with Jordan about something he did in class. And then he said something to the effect of what he said exactly was, well, this is my class. I'm going to run it my way. And if you don't like it, you have to find somebody else. Is what he said.
You?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that was his last day. He never taught another
Oh,
class. You know what I mean?
boy.
But here's the thing.
They really think it's theirs. It's
It's
crazy. It's like, bro,
I mean, it's just like that. It's not, you know what? You can't even get mad at that.
oh,
It's
it's just human
employee
nature.
mindset. It just is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, but they think that it's theirs until you make them realize that it's not. Like, oh shit, why is he looking to hire people? Well, Nicole, I need somebody that can do the job.
Yeah. And isn't going to think
Or,
that
or
working for competition just because you're not doing exactly boot camp isn't competition. Like, yo, the mindset should be how do we get the people in the 55 plus community to DFF boot camp?
not going to do that. She's only thinking about herself. She's not thinking about her business. You can't think like an owner. You got to think like an
Yeah.
employee.
I know, but for her, she's thinking that because she's saying, like, I'm going to do this and I still want to be able to work at boot camp. I'm like, you don't get it. Like, this is going to sour our relationship. We can't work together if you're working over there. So you're going to have to pick a
So
side,
close? Is it
me or
so
her.
close?
Yeah, everything's 3 miles apart. And then I saw,
And
go ahead.
I have a question that 55 and over, would they allow her to train one-on-ones?
Yes.
It don't matter. Listen, this
You know
what's
how
gonna,
hard it is to make good money with one-on-ones?
yeah,
Fuck.
you already know what's going to happen. She's going to
She doesn't
think
know how to
it's sweet.
sell.
She's going to try to charge something like $20 an hour. It will wreck her.
And the
She,
gym's going to take half.
the gym's going to take, or whatever percentage, it's going to
Yeah.
wreck her. It'll wear her out. You know
She
what I mean?
thinks it's going to go one way. And I was trying to warn her, like, it's not going to go the way you think it is. But I don't want to try to change her mind anymore.
You
Because it's
can't.
like, yo, if you're already willing to do that, then it just opened my eyes that I need somebody different then.
Right. So put the word, listen, okay. You have a little bit of a delay when it comes to my advice and your implementation. The
Yeah.
number one thing that you can do is say, hey guys, things have been going really well with Nicole. I would like to promote somebody else, or I would like to promote a new person in 2025. If anybody is interested, let me know. That's all
So
you got to do.
you recommend hiring from within again instead of trying
I
to
would recommend, well, neither are easy.
sure.
Both present their own challenges. Um, you can do both.
Yeah.
You can do both. But the thing is, if you put it out there to everybody, she will see it.
Yeah.
I would put that as a mass. The way that you blast things, I'll put it on Facebook. I put it as a mass text, and I put it on Instagram. And
I'll get people to hit me up.
everybody has to see it.
Yeah.
And you mask it by saying things have been going so well with Nicole
Mm.
that I would like to, promote another DFF member in 2025, take her
Right.
under my wing, and then we can grow this even bigger than it is. Who's interested? The
Yeah.
second she sees that, she may go, I don't know, she won't have the balls to quit.
She might though, because she's saying she needs the extra $1,000. So
But how would that solve her problems? Because now she's going to need the extra $1,400. You're paying her $400 a month, right? Or is it $400 per class per
I'm
month?
paying her $900 a month because she's doing two classes. She's doing the 9 a.m.,
Classes 4 days a
which
week.
which was 450, or I'm sorry, it was like 350, and then the second class, so another 350, so 700 plus the 200 that she was getting for paying me for her membership. That gets taken out, so
Oh,
she's making
yeah, you
30.
can't think about it like that. Yeah, there are some things that you can't. Yeah, there is an offset, but like you can't really think about that. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so she's
Um,
paying 700 a month essentially.
she's paying 700 a month. She's getting paid 700 a month, which isn't
Yes.
bad. She's teaching 8 classes a week. There are 4 classes. There are 4.3. But she also does like some cleaning and stuff.
Fuck, hardly any, man. I'm over here like she'll be the last one to do her classes on Friday. And then I ask her, like, whoever's the last person to end class, please leave it better than you found it. Clean it so it's ready for the next person. I'll come in on Sunday to set up and it's fucking dirty all over the mats, shit sitting out. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, sorry, I had to rush. Me and my hubby had plans.
That's why you need another person. I
Yeah.
need, I'm gonna put she can the best way is to threaten her. That's literally the only way. And you're gonna realize why big businesses are vilified so much. Because there are certain things that you just have to do because employees left to their own devices, because they get paid just for showing up anyway, will always default to their comfort level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought she at least understood that, look, if we open up these new classes and I'm paying you X amount of dollars, it's partially your job to make sure that is thriving and people know about it. So people come to those classes so we can keep it open. Because if no one goes to them, because she was complaining about how she only has 2 people coming to class or 3 people. And I'm like, well, people need to know that you even have this class. And you take no videos or pictures for me to even promote it. So I put up all my videos and say, by the way, we have these other 2 classes. You just don't know who's in there or what they're up
Well,
to.
of course you're going to put up your videos. Are you talking what platform are you talking about?
Facebook, Instagram, I post
Right.
stuff every day.
Right, but
She shares nothing about it at
yeah, but
all.
dude, I honestly I don't I mean, I guess the trainers kind of post on their own, but I've never mandated them to do any kind of marketing ever.
Really? Really? So so
Not
for
their job.
so for your clients, you don't have them promote or market at all?
My clients,
No,
like
I'm sorry, your trainers. Like you don't have them run ads, of course, but like do you have them like share about like post a video of the people working out and having a blast in
I
class?
mean, hearing you talk about it, I'm probably gonna mandate that they, for every shift, take one video, for
At
at
least like
least
a
one
week.
post a week. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I never have. I never relied on them to do that. You know what I
gotcha.
mean? Because because that's not their function per se, and
Sure,
that blurs the line. The way that I operate, they have one job, and
yeah,
because they have one job, they better do it well. You know what I
sure,
mean? So their responsibilities are a little bit less than Nicole's. They don't have to. They don't have to clean, but the funny thing is, if they see a mess, they'll get angry and whip out a vacuum. You know what
hmm,
and they don't have to market. They're scared to death to do nutrition. So my only thing is, fine, I'll run the nutrition system. I'll build it up, but when I make all of this money off of it, like they when I do their end of year evaluations, they're all going to get bonuses. Nobody's going to get a raise because I'm like, well,
that's cool.
they did well. If I'm talking to them, I would say you did everything well that you've done, but you're not more valuable to the program
Right.
in that the nutrition program brings in extra revenue. You're not bringing in any extra revenue. I mean,
Mhm.
so your per hour is not more valuable than it was last year. Is what I'm going to tell them.
Yeah, 100%.
But honestly, I did the math on Nicole, you got to let go of the whole payroll thing too, because payroll costs money, and you're actually paying her right in line with what I would have paid her anyway, given what she's doing 4 times a week, 4 classes, no, 2 classes a day, 4 days a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then
What's the going rate for like a per class for someone that just trains people and doesn't do anything else outside of that?
probably like 25.
Okay, like 25.
Yeah, and she's at 20, you know. So, but it's fair because it's like to me, it's 25 on the books.
Mhm.
You're doing 25 off the books.
Yeah.
So it's fair. Like the amount that you would have had to pay her extra, you would have ended up paying in taxes anyway for the amount that you had to pay her. So it's actually fair. Like that's one thing you have to resolve in your mind, is that you're not overpaying for her services,
Okay.
provided that she's doing what you agreed on. But the thing is with me is if somebody doesn't do okay, so your facility is so big. The 9 a.m. I get because you got to take your daughter to school.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. If it gets that bad, it might you could probably make more money net hiring a babysitter and then blowing up the 4:30 than you could keeping her doing a bullshit job. Now I'm just saying that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
perspective, if it ever
Sure.
got to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because your daughter's how old? 3?
Yeah.
I mean, that's still young. I don't know. Like I never had a babysitter. My parents never trusted them. I don't know how you feel about it,
Yeah.
but um, or what's your daughter's name again?
Aleda.
Aleda. Or I mean, I don't know how unrealistic it is to put Aleda in a playpen at the gym and like be there, but
You're saying it might make more sense for just me to run all four classes.
it, it makes more okay. Get the word out. Like
Yeah.
spend $100 on Indeed and then
Yeah.
put an ad out. All right.
Yeah.
And then text everybody. Like, if anything, if you told me it's gonna cost $100 to get her attention and to get her act together, it's
Yeah.
well worth it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
100%.
So
Real quick, Jonathan, I'm going to run to the restroom real fast. I'll be right
go,
back.
go, go, go.
Yeah. So should I just go back to just being, owner operator again? And
No, here's the thing. Like, you just need to be a better boss.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I made a lot of
Oh,
mistakes, clearly.
yeah, but like none of them are so major. She has not jumped ship yet, but you have to recognize your leverage as well. Okay, so she's making $700 from you. That's hard to walk away from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if she doesn't have a plan. So if you act fast enough, you can probably change her behavior, you
Okay.
know? Um, and the thing is you have open gym anyway. So like if the 415 went sideways, it's not like that one person wouldn't be able to access the gym. Like you could do all kinds of things. The 9 a.m. Sounds a little bit hairier. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it's Friday, I'm not going to be at the gym, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like you can't be you can't never be there at
Mhm.
4:15 or 9 a.m. Like,
Yeah. I pop in at least twice a week and to
oh,
say,
okay.
I come and say hi to everybody, bring my iPad, say, hey, do you need any help with anything? I make my presence known, talk to everybody, and not just like am removed completely where they only see Nicole because, I
Hmm.
wanted to make sure that they know that like Nicole teaches the class, but I run this thing, like I'm the one who puts the workouts together. I do the nutrition side. I help you with everything else.
Yeah. Um,
Let me ask you this, Jonathan. So if her act doesn't change, she made it clear she's like, I would like to stick around for as long until you don't want me here anymore. Should I keep her around until because she said she's going to start working at Trilogy. She has her start date mid-January. So should I keep her around until I have her replacement or I have the schedule set up in such a way that I can just run all four classes or get rid of her now? You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to get rid of her now, and I'm like, well, fuck, I can't even run these classes myself yet.
I don't even think you need to get rid of her. Like so
But
far, I haven't heard anything that is so bad that's like, oh, she's got to go. Really, it just boils down to the fact that she's gotten comfortable. That's literally your only problem. I
but
mean,
if it's working at both places, still, it's
problem.
okay to keep her.
I, so
For sure
you,
taking the job, she said.
yeah, I mean, she has to make money. Like, it's not like she's choosing them over you. Like,
Yeah,
if she needs to make more money and she hates her other job,
that's where she's at. So so let me see if I'm understanding. So you're saying basically just be cool with it then? Like have her work at the other gym, doing personal training, classes, running the front desk, and then also doing the stuff at DFF as long as she's doing her job well. There's no conflict of interest there working with my
I mean,
competition.
you follow all your members.
What's that?
You follow all your members.
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%.
is Trilogy that big of a opponent to you? I'll put it like this. I have a member and
Mhm.
she sells Herbalife.
Yeah,
And like she thinks she's like a nutrition coach or whatever. Um, I've thought about getting rid of her, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like how a lion is often chased around by hyenas, right? Looking to you know, get some of the antelope that he kills. So you know what a lion will do? He'll kill two antelopes and then he like leaves it for the hyenas so he can eat in peace, right?
right.
So it's kind of like, all right, you're so big right now, or in your mind. That's the kind of mindset. I was like, she's a bug to me, you know what I mean? So does Trilogy threat? It's a 55 and over community.
Mhm.
Do they really threaten you like that?
Well, so here's the thing. So in our small town, we got Trilogy, we got me, we have Real Fit, and then Hot Yoga. All
Okay.
four of us are competing for the same people. I have like 8 people that drive from Trilogy to my gym. So the people there
Uh,
train with me. It's not like I don't have access to them. So it's just do that, if the DFF coach is training at the Trilogy gym, why would they ever come down to DFF boot camp if they're getting
and she
coached
could.
there?
Well, yeah, that's another thing because a long time ago I had a member who wanted to become a trainer, and then she asked if she could rent out the space that I use to run her classes, different hours, and I was like, no conflict of interest because she would have used my equipment or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she ended up opening up her own spot, it was about a mile from me. And because she was a member of mine, all she knew was how I ran my program. So the classes in the beginning that she ran were super similar.
Exactly.
But does Trilogy have what you have?
In terms of like a boot camp,
No, in terms of equipment, squat racks,
fuck yeah,
bars.
yeah, they got the indoor track, they got the swimming pools. It's a big budget gym. It's a very big gym.
Oh, so it's like a YMCA. Do you have YMCAs out there?
It's kind of similar to that. It would be like that.
Okay. What town are you in again?
Rio Vista.
Trilogies in Rio Vista.
Yep, Trilogy. It's right on the outskirts.
Okay, so is it a 55 and over like facility or is
Yes.
it a gym?
Yeah. So it's called the clubhouse. It has, restaurants in there. It has the gym, but it's only for the people who live in that gated community. So people from the
Okay, so
outside can't go there, but the people who live there definitely travel out of town because there's tons of people from Trilogy that go to the other gym in town, go to my gym, go to other places. That's the thing. I was like, do I want my trainer that I'm promoting to be over here training clients that could be over here?
how many
Because
people do you have at Trilogy? How many people do you have from Trilogy? You said eight?
like 7 or 8, like
Seven.
7 or 8. Yeah. We have a lot of like older people that do boot camp.
I mean, it's very simple. If they go, okay, first of all, I put the word out, right?
Yep.
If they go, if they leave, you're
Nicole.
you're gone. You like if those $1,600 worth of members, okay, so now we got to do the math. If those $1,600 worth of members lost, like came out of my pocket, your pocket, essentially, then I'm just trying to find pictures of their gym at Trilogy at Rio Vista. Then you're definitely done. But you don't have any. You, she's got okay. Listen, that means you got no time. You gotta start putting the word out for her replacement, even though you're not calling it the replacement. You're just calling it the next great
Right, right, right.
IF trainer. Putting the word out now, you
Okay.
know. But I mean, maybe they'll have her work at the front desk, and then whoever she brings in, they'll let her keep the money. But uh, it doesn't add up because if she thinks $200 a month is too expensive to promote on her Instagram, how the hell is she gonna sell anything at
She has no sales skills, no ability.
she's it sounds like
And
she's living in a
she just thinks that people are going to all just flock to her as soon as she mentions she's doing personal training. And she made it clear that she was also willing to like go to the other gym in town, the one that I was talking about buying and being a trainer there too. And she thought that like none of this is competition.
it is competition, but at the same time, here's the thing. The reason why I never dealt with that was because I had the ability to max out my trainer's hours. I took on the responsibility of making enough money so that they could only train with me. You know what I mean? Like Vaughn, um, like he gets enough hours for him to not be wanting to look for another gym.
Because you have so many classes, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. So that's what I'm lacking. Like, I only have four classes.
Yeah. Um,
So much they can do. Yeah.
yeah. So same time you got to pay yourself. The I think the only play is to put the word out
Okay.
and to go on Indeed. And then just to see because at the end of the day, she's entitled, if she has a part-time job that doesn't pay her bills, you really don't have the right to go like, well, you can't work anywhere else. That's in the gym. You can't control her like that.
Yeah, I was just, because I talked to Angel, I talked to Guzzo, and they were like, fuck no. Like, if I had any of my trainers wanting to work at another gym in any capacity, it wouldn't happen. It's conflict of interest. So that's why I want to talk to you because I'm like, you got more experience than all of us with this. I wanted to make sure I don't make a decision that's foolish because I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to be a good trainer by myself, but in terms of dealing with this situation, I didn't know if I was being too crazy of like, you can't work over there. You can only stay at DFF, even though we can't pay you enough.
No, I mean you can't. Okay, here's the thing. You can't necessarily do that, but you can set it up in a situation. All you can do is set it up in a situation where she chooses not to leave, or where if she does leave, you're fine.
Yeah, in terms of having like a replacement and people that
Right.
can run classes. Okay.
But like unless you have somebody else or know you can take the other classes, now you don't have any leverage.
Yeah, that's the thing. So keep her around, even if she starts the other job until I have her replacement, right?
I don't know, like you have almost a month. You have 11, you have 26 days.
Yeah.
You should be able to get this into motion in a week.
Yeah, I'm gonna start putting stuff out.
Trainers are
And,
looking for jobs right now for the new year. You know what I mean? And the new one is getting certified every day.
yep.
So you can very well say, you know what? Now that you've secured this person, you might find somebody better. I mean, the hours that you're offering, it depends on the person, but like,
It's got to be someone that's not relying on that as like their sole income, you know,
you, some
700
people just need to get their foot in the door, and making $700 a month will be great for them, you
Yeah.
know? And then there will be a little bit of attrition. Like if she goes there, maybe some people will follow her for
Yeah.
a while, and maybe they'll realize, she doesn't have it like he has it. Like,
Yeah.
you might find somebody better than Nicole. I thought that I was very upset when I lost Jordan. And Vaughn, if you take the totality of it, is better than Jordan.
Yeah.
You don't worry.
Did you have some members that followed your old trainers that left?
Nah, I mean, well, I
Not enough to be
It was
noticed.
a similar situation. It's kind of like he didn't have enough leverage to take anybody with him. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And maybe there, because I know he trained at some Planet Fitness out there. He'd get one or two, but I've lost one or two clients before. I'll get them back. Yeah,
yeah.
I've had people leave, and then the thing is, at the end of the day, you just have to be confident in your ability to just run your business and then replace whomever leaves. You know what I mean? Because my chiropractor said that when he worked in a group and then he started his own spot. He was like, when a chiropractor leaves, the office that he's leaving has to expect that there about 10% of his clients are going to follow him because they probably dealt with him exclusively. I
Sure.
mean, they established a lot of trust. So that's just going to happen. That's just the rules of the game.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so if it happens, it happens. But
Yeah, I'm not too
got a
worried
good
about
thing going.
it. Um, how do I make sure this doesn't happen again? Like if I were to rewind and start Nicole again, what do you think I should have done differently as the boss to have cultivated maybe a better, like I'm the boss, you're the employee, or like what are some mistakes you saw that I made that I probably need to fix when I get the new person at least, so I don't fuck up that too.
Verbiage, a lot of it is verbiage. I would like. I don't know how often you did meetings with her, but when I first had my trainers, like my first two trainers, we met every week
Yeah.
and like until everything was beaten into them. And then I was at their classes every time that they coached for a while. Um, but I don't really think you did that much wrong. I do think for a first-time coach, you might have expected a little bit too much out of her as it relates to like you want her to take the BMI. Like here's the thing, if she's going to take body fat percentage, people are naturally going to ask her questions about nutrition.
Yeah.
You give her that authority, they're going to ask her questions about nutrition, and she's going to try to answer them. So
Yeah.
you can't give her that responsibility and at the same time go like, but don't talk about nutrition.
I
Her ego
got you.
won't let her do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um,
That
off
makes
the
sense.
top of my head, it's probably the only thing. Outside of that, it was just like a normal thing that anybody would do that wanted to make more, that started to think that, oh, I think I like this fitness thing. Let me try to do it full time.
Yeah.
Um,
I get it. I mean, if I was her, if I could get paid at DFF boot camp and this other place, and I don't got to work at my job that I hate, hell yeah, I would do that too.
right.
But being the owner, I'm like taking it personal. Like you fucking betraying me, you know what I mean? Like I built you up, motherfucker. I use
I,
my platform to promote you. These motherfuckers aren't even gonna do that for you. But
I
the
know.
game's the game.
I know. I felt all that. Um, but that's kind of what it is like. It's going to be a constant cycle of bringing somebody on, promoting them. I mean, Soul Cycle goes through the same thing. You know what I mean? They got that, what was her name? That blonde or whatever that got super popular on Soul Cycle. Now she left. Oh, no, not Soul Cycle. What's that thing? The starts
Uh,
with a
uh,
P, I think.
Peloton.
Oh, yeah. Peloton. Like she got super popular on social media. Now she has her own platform.
Yeah,
Peloton made her. She was nobody
yeah.
without them. I mean, but
People
like
get
that
that.
happened. But you have to do that, or else you'll just be wearing yourself out running all the classes. Um,
Yeah,
it's a matter though of making the brand bigger than any trainer,
yeah.
you
So
know?
people want to go to DFF, not just like I want to train with Nicole.
See, that's the thing. When you have one trainer that teaches every class. So it's hard for them not to go like Nicole is the greatest because she knows them. Whereas like with my
You see
system,
them every day. Yeah.
yeah, like Jamie will teach on Monday, Vaughn teaches on Tuesday. So like it'll be one or the other. So
Oh,
the
really? Wait. So you'll have different trainers train for the same class time slot?
Yeah, so they
Oh
train
shit!
in
I never thought
shifts.
about that.
Oh yeah, they train in shifts. Like so let's take 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. Nicole does that on Monday and Thursday. Vaughn does that Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean?
That's
So
so
it's not
smart. Because then you're splitting it up too, and it's not like I guess I mean that's where it would come from, where it's like, well, that's your classes, these are my classes. Because
right,
we weren't taking shifts. It was like I'm responsible for these ones, you do those ones. But then the clients also only see her all the time
right,
and get comfortable instead of splitting it between us. That
right.
makes sense. Yeah, okay. Different trainer, so it's different shifts for the time slots.
I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong because it has a positive aspect to it as well. Whereas,
It's
like now, because that's the case with us, we have to keep like staff notes when somebody trains a trainer, especially who's on a trial. The trainer that trained them on Monday is, since I do the inbound call, I'm going to put in all the notes from the inbound call. Trainer that trains them on the first day has to put in notes about what they learned about that member, and
yeah,
then every subsequent trainer kind of like can figure it out from there. So, it's not perfect, but
that's
it bridges the gap of like, okay, you're meeting me for the first time or you don't get me every day, so
right.
it requires a little bit more communication. But I don't think what you're doing is wrong. It's just that being a tra it here's the thing about being a trainer. When you walk into a situation like yours or mine, and it's your first job, they automatically think that it's so easy because they didn't earn it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So you have to understand, well, I mean, I could do my best to beat my trainers up, and remind them that, you ain't shit. I did all this because to make your job easy. Though.
Right.
Honestly, they don't want to hear that. But you just have to understand that. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. She just wants to make a little bit more money. You can't provide it.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. If you wanted her to, if she said, I want to teach extra classes, because I actually had a point last year and the last year, I was like, hey guys, I sometimes you have suggestions. I'm not going to change the system because the system works for what we have, but we don't do anything on Sundays. If you wanted to do something on Sunday, I'd allow it. You just have to write it out and send it over to me. I told my trainers this. None of them did it. None of them did it because it would have required them to like promote it, to actually write it down. I was like, no, no, you can't just come off the top of your head. You got to write it down.
Yep. Program that shit.
So what's the class? What's the day that you guys aren't having classes? Wednesday or Friday?
Wednesdays. We do Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday.
And Wednesday's open gym.
Well, I mean, pretty much every day is open gym, but Wednesday there's just no boot camp classes.
Do you allow open gym while classes are going?
No, 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 no.
Okay, so
Just
nobody can go on the stair climber while you're running a class. Like
correct.
just
Correct. They can come in anytime when there's not a class going. So
how
so it
often do they use that?
all the time. A lot of people use it, especially if they weren't able to make a certain class. They'll just come in and do the workout that was planned by themselves, or they'll just come in, get a little mini workout in. Or some people like to train on the weekends, and we don't have weekend classes. So they'll just come in with another boot camp friend and do a little partner workout.
And they can't bring strangers.
Correct. It's just only people that are from boot camp.
And you don't worry about safety? They signed the waiver.
They signed the waiver. I got cameras, and nothing's bad's happened. I mean, it seems like they respect it enough to where they work out. They put everything back. They just come in, have their headphones on, and do their thing and leave.
Okay. Um, well, I mean, you could give her a shot, but it's 50-50 split.
At what? Like doing a class?
Yeah, she wants to do a Zumba? Fine. 50-50 split.
Yeah,
She,
it still wouldn't make that extra 1,000 that she needs.
she,
So she
if
she's
she
gonna
went to
figure
Zumba
it out.
class, Zumba's super easy. Let's say she was really good at Zumba or yoga, right? And then she were to charge $20 a class and she got 50 people. That's not hard. 50 people, she got 50 people to do the class over the course of the month. 50 times 20 is $1,000. So she's got to get 100 people over the course of a month. Divide that by 4 weeks. All right. So she's got to get 25 people a week. And let's say she spreads that across two classes,
Yeah.
12 and 12. If you think you're that good, if you can't get that with our existing base,
Mhm.
then number one, that could be an easy extra $1,000 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Number two, it'll show her the reality of what she's dealing with. Because if she can't get it with the people that exist there, the only problem is if she gets it going at your gym, she'll take it over to Trilogy.
Exactly. She's building that base.
Oh God. Okay, now I see the problem with Trilogy. So you got to put the word out for a new trainer.
Yeah. Okay. So approach it like things are going so great with Nicole. We want to promote somebody else who's looking, in 2025 to build with us, yada yada.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about schedules later.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I would put it, but I would like to build a team.
Okay.
I'm looking for one more person.
Okay.
And then when you
All
like
right.
them enough, they go 9 to 4:30.
Okay. And then once we got the replacement, then we'll cut ties with Nicole. She can just go do her thing over at Trilogy. We do our thing here. I told her, I'm like, are you
To
sure?
make a decision or
Yeah.
to make a business decision, go like, you know what?
I'm gonna stay here instead of do that. Yeah.
But at the same time, you gotta remember it's not really her fault for wanting to make more money.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's understandable, but it's also like I can't let you do both. I got to do what's best for it, because if you're already not fulfilling the things you need to accomplish now with two classes, you go do this new adventure at Trilogy, doing the front desk, working classes, personal training. Your effort's going to go probably more towards there. You're not even accomplishing what you need to do here.
I think you can take the if I were you, I would take the in-body stuff, not the in-body, but the Omron stuff off of her plate.
Okay,
If she can't do all nutrition, she can't do any of it. There's no point.
that makes sense. Okay, so then I'll just pop in and do that with them.
And charge for nutrition. Instead of just my personal opinion, just get an in-body scale. I like okay, like I said, mine I pay 200, let's say $240 a month, right? $30 per scan. So all I got to do is 8 scans a month. And then I don't have to like I don't even look at the whatchamacallit, MyFitnessPal every day anymore because it's too much work. It's too much work. I just
But then the problem could become like, well, why am I still paying $200 a month if now I'm not don't have this stuff in my program still? Now it's extra, you know?
because it's a more expensive machine.
Yeah, that's true. It's not just a little
Leave
Omron.
leave the Omron out and tell people they can use it whenever they want.
Okay, but if they want the extra one,
That's the problem. Yeah, well, I have old members that say, "Hey, Jonathan, remember when you used to check my journal every day?" And I go like, "Yeah, I was broke and miserable."
that shit sucks, man.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do it. Um,
You don't even do the journal checking anymore. Okay.
Most people don't need it. The
Yeah.
people that need it are probably going to fuck up the whole time anyway.
Yeah. No, you're right. But yeah, I got to go pick up my daughter, so I'm gonna have to.
Sure.
I got to get out of here. But I definitely want to talk again soon, maybe in like a month, and like let you know where things are at if I was able to get somebody new, and then maybe go from there if that's okay.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, let me know. I'm happy to hear that things are going well. If there's a minor problem, you're going to get over it, no problem.
Yeah. Is that the best way to get a hold of you on the Instagram DM now?
I'm always on Instagram. So yeah, that's a good
Okay.
way. That's the best
Yeah.
way.
Okay. Sounds good. So I'll just message you on there then. Hey, it was good talking to you, man. Happy holidays. I really appreciate it as always. Sensei Hurdless. Thank you, sir.
You as well, man. You're
I
absolutely
appreciate
and
you,
I'll
man.
send you the I'm gonna send you this video, yeah?
Please. Yes. Yeah. I want to review it.
Okay, I'll send it over.
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
No problem.